Wow, welcome back guys to a brand new video. Now today we are going to be reading the response from Studio Wildcard on the heavy DDoS attacks that's been happening for the game, and this is pretty shocking, to be honest. So I know I'm really grateful that Studio Wildcard, well, Dolly, has gone into some big detail on what's going on, because obviously this has been an ongoing problem now for about 2 weeks, and it's just been a bit crazy. If you guys do enjoy today's video and get all the news you need to know, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. And also, guys, if you want to come and join us on the LoadedCrysis cluster, the link to the Discord is in the description down below. We talk about this. We got like servers with 100 slots, and we're just about to do our special PvP promo video going live later this week. So if you want to get in early on the 100 player server PvP servers, then link to the Discord is down below if you want to get a little bit of a head start. But obviously we've got loads of PvE servers with all the maps as well. So thank you for everyone for the support. Luckily, as I've mentioned before, we don't tend to have too many problems with the ongoing DDoS attacks. Sometimes we're experiencing problems. It's very annoying at the moment, but for the official servers, it's a real problem. So anyway, Dolly has posted, as I said, update on the situation regarding server uptime. Another thing I wanted to mention is, again, another thank you to YouTube for inviting me to the YouTube charity Sidemen match. That's probably not the Sidemen charity match. I did actually do my first ever vlog on my TikTok. I'm debating on posting it on Shorts on YouTube, or I might just post it on here. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I've never really been a vlogger, but it was really cool to do. So if you want to go check out my TikTok, just LoadedCrysis TikTok, then you can go and check out that day. It was really fun. Anyway, on from that, it's time to talk seriousness now. So, we're still experiencing heavy DDoS attacks, and we've just been hit with a large one, which is why there were sudden intermittent connection issues on some of our servers right now. Our hosts, who are Nitrado, are aware of the ongoing attacks and are doing everything they can to mitigate them, including working with other external specialists. We have to be delicate about how much information we share, as too much can make us vulnerable to more attacks or even just provoke the attacker to go further. It's possible that this message alone could cause us to receive a heavier attack. We're not dealing with script kiddies, or script kitties as I call them here. These are the largest attacks in ARK's history, and frankly some of the data would be newsworthy. The people doing this are professionals, and it wouldn't be surprising if this isn't even the hardest they could hit us. The teams working on this are doing everything they can to mitigate the attacks and keep the servers online. We know how frustrating it is to deal with this, especially during these events, and we're hoping to resolve this as quickly as we can. Appreciate you understanding the complexity of this situation. So, there's a lot to talk about, and it's actually crazy to hear how massive this is. And I mean, some people have said it's a huge tribe that are doing this, obviously, who have got involved after they got wiped or something. And what we've heard here from Dolly is the people that are doing this are professionals, and they say, and frankly, some of the data would be newsworthy, which is just absolutely crazy. And yeah, I mean, I guess Studio Wildcard don't want this to be out in the news in the sense of, like, you know, being over. I'm sure it's probably already on some of the big gaming sites like GamesRant and you know, and all of that. But you know, this could actually end up becoming one of the most hottest topics in the gaming community, because this isn't only just related to ARK. This could be related to every single other game that's going on. And remember, this is actually happening in other games too, because I don't think it is just ARK. I think maybe from what I've heard, the people are obviously getting frustrated. It's come from ARK's side, from what we've been told. But by the looks of things, it's affecting the Nitrado servers as a whole. So this could be all different other games, you know, Daisy, bunch of things like that. So it's really sad to see this is still going on. I mean, it's been 2 weeks, and I always think to myself, like, how do these people have time to do things like that? Like, you know, like, how do you have time to be able to constantly be hitting a company with this? And do you know what? I understand about how frustrated people get with ARK. I've said this in so many videos. I understand how frustrating this game can be. I understand there's been lots of things going on where they say the devs don't listen, but this just isn't the way to deal with things whatsoever. This is like the worst of the worst thing to do, because not only is this illegal, this is also ruining amazing experiences for so many other people that just enjoy playing the game. It's their place. They come on to play with their friends, their tribes, and then all the other games as well. And some people disagreed with me. Some people agreed with me when I said the best way to talk about a situation is make a YouTube channel. And I know some people are still going to disagree with me. Is make a YouTube channel and talk about it. Spread the word, because the only way things get changed. It happened in the past when Wildcard. I know they aren't great at listening to people, and I do believe that their listening skills need to get better. In what is one. And sometimes we don't even know what's going on behind the scenes, right? So we don't know that Studio Wildcard might not be able to listen to everything. I don't know who's telling them yes or no to maybe some things. But by making these videos, when they released Ascended, and they said they were going to release Ascended, and then it was going to be as like a package bundle. I think it was called the Respawn bundle with ARK 2, and then we had to pay for every DLC we'd already paid for in the past. We all went crazy about that, and Wildcard reverted it, so they do listen in these types of situations. But attacking and doing heavy DDoS attacks does nothing to help the situation. If we disagree on something as a community that Studio Wildcard decides to do, which at the moment a lot of that stuff is going on right now, the best way is to come together as a community and share our feedback. Not horrible, disgusting things that people sometimes say in Discord. Positive criticism, like good, constructive criticism. That's the word I'm looking for. And post the videos out there. This is why I do what I do, because I can basically be able to say, this isn't right, Wildcard, we need to, and they might not listen to me, but at least I can get the word out there to tens of thousands of people, and that's what I try and do as much as I can. And doing these crazy DDoS attacks is just blows my mind. But I guess all we can really do at the moment is hope whatever specialists that Nitrado are working with are going to help them solve this issue moving forward. They've said to me already before that they believe that they've got the best DDoS protection on the market, if not one of the best. That's what's so scary about the situation, because the fact that they have that, but these professionals are managing to take them down still with that, is very, very scary. So whatever happened during the situation, they must have really upset some people. But anyway, we can't do anything about it at the moment. All we can do is just sit and wait for Studio Wildcard to deal with some things with Nitrado, and let's hope we start to see some more positive things coming up. Now, obviously, I want to come back to this because we talked about this in yesterday's video. I saw that most people agreed with my point, but then I also agreed with some other people's points, was things like this cosmetic pack. So the servers have been getting DDoSed for like 2 weeks. The game's not been in the best position. It's been pretty unoptimized for over a year, and everyone's been waiting for this Unreal Engine 5.5 update, and they release a skin cosmetic pack for $14.99. Now, one of the things that I do agree with, right, is I agree that you don't have to buy it. It's only optional. It's not something saying you have to buy it to be able to play something. It's only there if you really want to buy it. I completely agree with that. And yes, you get 80 plus skins as part of this pack. And then on games like Fortnite or Marvel Rivals, it's normally like more than $14.99 for one skin. But the difference is, and by the way, I agree with all of that, with what people say there, and I get the argument point there. That is true. Like, if you want to get yourself like an Iron Man skin on Fortnite or something, it's going to cost you like nearly £20 or $20 or whatever, and this is for 80 skins. But the difference is that they are at a point with their game where they've earned the right to do that in a way. And maybe I'm wrong by saying any skin should ever be that expensive, but at the end of the day, they sell it well because their game works well, and that's literally my only point of why I'm complaining about this. I would not be complaining about cosmetic items moving forward whatsoever, because I think cosmetic items are better than the fantastic tames, because with the fantastic tames it's kind of a bit more of a pay to win side of things, whereas with cosmetics it doesn't affect that kind of play style side of the game. So I don't mind with Studio Wildcard going down this route of selling skins like other games do, because other games do it, but it's just the way they ended up. That's why I went on like a tiny rant in yesterday's video, because it was the way they decided to do it, the timing they decided to do it was just absolutely awful. Now don't get me wrong, I understand in game development and, you know, when you're running a business, you have to plan things out, and you kind of have to follow your plan when you're, so, you know, they will have a whole year, 2 years, 3 years plan. You know, we've already been told what their next 2 years plan is, but obviously the animated series cosmetic pack, I mean, Wildcard do a lot of things last minute, so who knows how planned this was in advance. But whatever the timing was, they probably just pushed it because they knew they had to. But I just thought this was the worst thing, the worst timing. And do you know what? Even if they maybe did a whole thing in the community crunch before they promoted this, saying, you know, we know that this isn't the right time, or whatever, just saying we know there's all these problems, we understand the frustration, and then go into talking about their cosmetic pack, that even then they might get a little bit more love. But it's the fact that it's just the worst timing ever. And also it's $15 when we just pay $15 for a map. Now, something I also want to say is there's a lot to cover right now. I'm really hoping this is going to be more of a positive. I've said in my last video, I hope things will start to get more positive. And you know, bad times never last. What was I going to say is Nakatus, the creator of, you know, Astrius, you know, one of the devs of Valguero, you know, creator of Fjordur. I noticed he said that he's going to be taking a short, like, not break from working. He's still going to be working, but he said from socials. And I was going to get the tweet up, but to be honest, I don't think I'd have to go on Twitter or something to get up. So I'm just going to explain it, just because there's a lot of negativity going on at the moment. And to be honest, I've been doing this for such a long time that the negativity, it can get to me sometimes, but I'm used to it. Most of you guys are always amazingly positive. And by the way, I'm not saying that I always want you guys to be positive, because if I say something wrong, as I've said in videos before, I would want you guys to tell me, Dom, you're wrong, mate. Dom, sit down, you're wrong. But like, I you know, obviously when the game is in a position that it's in right now, where it keeps having these amazing peaks with Extinction and, you know, and other maps, and then, you know, there's these types of problems, this DDoS problem, people aren't going to be able to play the game. It is like, I'm not saying it's all ARK players, because it's not at all. There's a small group of people that take it way too far, like the people that are DDoS in the game at the moment, and the people that say some awful things. When, you know, it's not, Nakatus has actually provided us, I'm going to back Nakatus up here, because he's actually provided us with so much free content over the years, and now Nakatus has the opportunity with the new ASA game to actually make a bit of more of a living out of it. So I know Nakatus will get paid from Nitrado, because he works for Nitrado, and there's things like that, and there's things that people don't understand, but he has actually provided us years of fun for free. When you really think about it in that way, he has. And so I don't think you should be sending hate Nakatus' way whatsoever. You have to remember, he does not make the decisions at any of these companies, even though he's the mod, I think he's like mod lead at Nitrado, so he's on the mod side of things. He's not anything to do with company decisions in that side of things, apart from to do with modding. So I think it's really harsh to just come straight for someone who is actually giving us years of fun for completely free. I do understand Asteris is an unfinished map, and it needs, and you know, there's some work, and I think Nakatus posted out the other day saying that there is a new Asteris update, but over time we're gonna get it. And I understand $15 for an unfinished map. This map's huge already. This map, if Nakatus wanted it to, he could just say it was a finished map, because it is literally still bigger than any other map already. It's going to keep expanding. It's going to get better. I still understand people's points when, you know, we should be, if we're buying a map, it should be finished, to be honest. I don't think for, you know, a game that's still obviously in early access, I think they said that this game was meant to be out of early access by now. So I understand your frustrations, you know, I do. And Wildcard, you know, fail releasing things. They fail on, you know, any promises they make is never happens, and everything like that. I'm completely honest with that, but there has to be there's a level of things. It is a game, as much as sometimes it's a very addicting game. It's just a game at the end of the day, and taking things to these kind of extremities is just ridiculous. So anyway, I think I've now covered everything that I wanted to talk about. You know, if I'm going to do a little bit of a summary to the end of the video, we're hoping that we're going to have some new specialists in that are going to help the situation with the DDoSing. As for the animated series skins, they need to rethink this. I don't think they will, because it's so close, but if I were Studio Wildcard, I'd probably hold off the launch for this and wait and focus on Unreal Engine. Give us some people want information on this, right? So I would say pull this for a bit, or maybe now they've talked about it, don't talk about it for a while. Get some information out there about Unreal Engine, which I'm guessing is meant to be at GDC 2025. And then afterwards, you can then focus on other stuff, you know, like Ragnarok, and just then you can go on and do more of these, you know, posts and things about what you're selling. Because if people are upset in your community and you're just trying to sell things to them, they're not going to be happy. It's simple common knowledge, you know, that's what happens in business practice. That's why I just don't understand why they decided to make that decision. But anyway. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything. And regarding the Nakata stuff, you know, he's done a lot for us in this community, and you know, if he's making some money out of things now, you know, he's doing it because he's probably had years where he's deserved to make way more than he has because of all the free content. But anyway, video rant over. I don't even know if it's a rant. It's a bit of everything. I like just to sit here and have a talk with you guys about the ongoing situations. This video is probably a lot longer than I normally have, but I think that's all that's covered. This week it will be back to the double uploads. So we obviously get a modded video done earlier in the day, and then later on is when you get your news video, which is when you'll be seeing this one. So thank you for watching, guys. Come and join us in the LoadedCrysis cluster. Link is in the description down below, and I will see you in my next video very soon. See you guys then.